Y'all, this is my second attempt recording this video because the first time my body was like all the way up here. You could barely see my shirt or nothing, and I was very upset. So, we're gonna try this again. Cue that intro. Hey y'all, it's Brooklyn and I'm back once again with another YouTube video. As y'all can tell from the title, I'm going to be telling y'all my experience about secular music from a Christian perspective. I don't know if you would consider this a story time, but I'm gonna let you guys be the judge of that. Before I go any further, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and turn on those post notifications so that way you guys will not miss out on any uploads. Without further ado, let's get on started. Get on started. All right now. So I'm gonna take y'all back to when I was a little kid. Growing up, I was listening to mainly gospel music. I grew up listening to Mary Mary, Yolanda Adams, Donnie McClurkin, a lot of gospel artists that were prevalent and still are prevalent in this time. I was listening to a lot of older artists such as Richard Smallwood, John P. Key, Kirk Franklin, and I was also listening to the mainstream artists at that time. I truly believe that it is a part of me today, and I am really grateful that I was brought up on the gospel greats. So fast forward to when I went to elementary school. That was when I started to get more exposed to secular music. Keep in mind that none of this music was bad at all. All the music that we listened to in elementary school was clean, wasn't talking about nothing explicit, nothing raunchy. It was all kid appropriate. It was age appropriate. Now, when I reached 6th grade, I started to really explore other artists and other genres of music, and some songs that I did listen to were not good for me. And I feel like most of it had to do with the fact that all my friends at the time and all my peers were listening to it, so I felt like, oh, they're listening to it, I have to listen to it too. And no, like, be your own person. But you know, I was young and we all learned, so it's okay. That was when I was really starting to listen to a lot of stuff that it just wasn't good for me, sis. It was not good at all. 8th grade is when I really started to strengthen my relationship with Christ. And in the midst of that, I remember the first night of the youth revival, which played a huge role in this. I remember deleting most of it that night. What I would do was I would take a folder and download all the songs from a specific album, put them all in that folder, and then I would rename the folder as the name of the album. So that way when it played, it would just play all the songs in order. I remember keeping 3 albums on my phone, and I was like, oh, you know, these aren't that bad. I can keep them as well. I can keep those as well, right? After a few weeks passed, after everything happened, I listened to them again and I was like, it's a no for me. So I just got rid of it. I deleted that too. After that, y'all are gonna laugh, but I actually went through a phase where I didn't listen to secular music at all because I thought that it would send me to hell. I feel like that had a lot to do with me listening to too many different people, and they were saying, oh, you know, if you listen to secular music, you're gonna go to hell. During that time, I was also starting to force my convictions on other people because I feel like God was putting me through a time where he didn't want me to listen to any of it. And I was like, you know, she's listening to Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, so I can't sit with her. I can't associate myself with this person because they're listening to all the stuff that I used to listen to. And you know, I'm a Christian now, so that means that I can't talk to them. I can't even look at them. I can't even breathe in their presence. Like, no. Like, that's not the mentality that Christians should have. Like, if anything, we should be the light and we should be encouraging them to make better choices. But I had to understand, and my mom even had to tell me that just because I may be in a certain place in my relationship with the Lord, they may not be there yet. So I can't judge them and I can't be judgmental and hateful towards them because they're not where I'm at right now. Like, your relationship with God is a process. It's not like one day you're here and then the next minute you're here. No, it's a process. It was kind of hard for me because I didn't really know how to handle it, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't really know how to handle myself in those certain situations, and I found myself being kind of a modern day Pharisee, but we ain't gonna discuss that. But I was low-key becoming a modern day Pharisee, and I was being really judgmental. Nowadays, I mainly listen to gospel and Christian music, but when I am listening to secular music, I make sure that every single word in there is clean. I make sure there's no inappropriate stuff in them. There's a Bible verse in Philippians chapter 4 that says, I'm gonna just read it, hold up. Philippians 4:8 says, "Finally, brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, if there is any virtue and if there is anything praiseworthy, meditate on these things." I'm gonna let you guys know right now, not all secular music is bad, but as a Christian, it is very important that you have to be really careful about what you're listening to. You can't listen to anything and everything. This goes beyond what you listen to. It goes into what you read, what you watch, the conversations you're having with people. It goes beyond. I highly suggest that y'all go through your playlists, go through your Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you get your music on, and check out what the messages your songs are talking about, because y'all would not believe the half. I remember Lil Uzi Vert had a song called 444 plus 222. Y'all do the math. He was like, oh, if you listen to my songs, you're going to hell.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Just like, wow, like there's so many people who still listen to these people. It's funny how there are some people who will listen to it and they'll be like, oh, girl, it don't affect me. It won't have an impact on me. From experience, yes, it will have an effect on you. What you listen to will eventually come out of you. There's a Bible verse in Matthew that talks about that. It's not what goes into a man that defiles him, but it's what comes out of a man that defiles him. You really have to make sure that the stuff you're listening to isn't talking about nothing crazy. Half of these song lyrics are blasphemous. Like, I used to be a fan of Beyonce, and I remember listening to one of her songs, and she refers to herself as Beezus. And then her husband Jay-Z refers to himself as Hova. So I go on Google and look up what does Hova mean when Jay-Z referred to himself as Hova. Apparently, it's short for Jehovah. If 2 plus 2 is 4, 5 plus 5 is 10, and 60 plus 60 is 120, please make that make sense. And it's just like some of these fans, some of these fandoms are worshiping the ground that some of these artists walk on. Like, do you not realize that that's idolatry? You may call me crazy, but you gotta do your research. All these little kids singing along to these songs and they have no clue what they're talking about. They could be doing some devil worship and they don't even know it. The devil is no joke. It's not something to play with. You gotta be really careful what you're putting in here, in here, in here, and in here. You have to be careful. Make sure that the lyrics aren't seductive, anything raunchy, anything explicit, anything that glorifies sin. If it doesn't, cool. If it does, skip over it. Move on. During that time, I was straddling the fence. I was really straddling the fence, and I was like, oh, you know, I can still listen to gospel music and I can still listen to the songs that glorify sin. God and sin are like oil and water. They don't mix. I want to check out my Spotify for some music that y'all need or that y'all want to listen to. I got y'all, so feel free to follow me on Spotify. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, like and comment. I have a whole bunch of new videos that I have in store for you guys, so stay tuned for that. Follow me on my social media platforms. They will be linked down below, so you can check those out as well. God bless you guys. I love y'all so much, and I will see you next time. Peace out, y'all.